How do I appear more attractive to the opposite gender?
How Princess Diana would do. So she'd look down, she'd look up, and then she'd bat her eyelids.
Yeah.
That also gets you attention.
Today's guest on Ask the Expert is India's #1 body language expert.
Who lies more, men or women? There's a study though, but still, what do you
Men.
think? Men?
Yeah.
That's right.
I could have told you that through my experience.
Males, when they get stressed, you say something that's not going really well, they'll start touching their face. The eye blink goes through the roof. Cut, 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 cut.
He's a police consultant, a behavioral psychologist, and spends most of his days reading the body language of criminals. I'm being a dominating presence right now. I'm taking up space.
That's the word.
I am yet to find a bigger crime than breaking my heart. How do I catch a cheating partner?
There's no good liars in the world. It's just that we have a lot of bad listeners in the world.
So today he's going to help us spot signs in body language, red flags that'll prevent us from wasting 3 months in a playlist on someone with commitment issues.
When somebody is lying or being deceptive, the hands will stop moving. You can have a poker face, but you cannot have a poker body.
Welcome, Mr. Gaurav Gill. Welcome, Gaurav.
Okay, thank you for having me over, and I'm delighted. I'm looking forward to it.
So when I'm on a date or if I'm meeting a prospective partner, what are the signs that that person is interested in me? And how can I scan someone's body language to give me insights into our potential compatibility?
Whenever you go out and you meet someone and you'd like to know if they're interested, the neck tilt, which is already there in you. Yeah,
Right.
It's all right. I'm going to do that in real time.
Okay.
So the neck tilt, that'll happen. It could be just interested in the topic also.
Right.
Other than that, your top, your torso, and your toes, all 3 T's should be towards that person. And if you want to have a good date, no table in between.
Why is that?
Because you're not able to see the other person's feet. If your favorite song plays in your car, you're excited and this is my song, the feet start tapping.
Okay.
Now they'll start moving
Right.
because you can't control. I have a social contract with you only with my face, but not with my feet. They'll move on their own. If I feel that I want to run away and things are not going right, 1 foot towards you, 1 foot towards the door. You want to watch out for the foot movement. You give them too much of stress, the feet go under the chair. They want to run away from you. Okay, you want to look for the flight response.
Yeah.
You're giving them too much of stress, the neck will start disappearing. Turtling happens. They ball themselves up.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that to that other person.
Sure.
If that is happening, change.
Immediately change it.
So if you really want to see the other person's interest, the neck tilted, the eye contact, the smile.
Right. So tell me more about the smile. How can I distinguish between an authentic and an inauthentic smile?
Smile is a signal of submission. It's not really always happiness. Do you know how many types of smiles are there?
2 or
Take a
3?
Excellent. 19.
Oh, okay. I was close.
You were close, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are 19 types of smile and only 6 are for happiness. You go to a coffee shop, they say, welcome to, whichever coffee shop. Are they really happy to see you? You're a customer, yes, but are they really excited? Welcome to so-and-so airlines. And the smile fades away. So smile reaches in the eyes and the corner of the eyes have to get crinkled. But then also it takes a build-up of 3 seconds.
Okay.
Inauthentic smile doesn't go to your eyes.
Yeah. Tell me about mirroring. If I'm on a date with someone, if they're mirroring or synchronizing with my body language through their gestures, what does that tell me?
If you're sitting like this, I also start sitting like this. After like 30 seconds, I've started mirroring you.
Okay.
It could be consciously or it could be subconsciously. That tells we are similar. It also tells you things are going good.
Oh, really?
You can also test if the other guy is really,
Synced up.
You change your gesture and see if the other guy changes or not.
How can I tell if someone is unsure about me? Supposing a date isn't going well, how can I identify signs of stress or discomfort in the person I'm sitting opposite to, while they may be saying with their words that they're having a great time and they're, super happy to be here?
Have you seen men touching their face like this?
I see it quite often.
Yeah, doesn't make you wonder?
No, I mean, I don't think anything of it.
Okay.
But is there some subtle signal that is being conveyed?
So there was a research done by University of Durham, wherein the pregnant mother's fetuses were examined with an ultrasound. And there they saw that whenever mother was getting stressed and she was passing that cortisol, that stress hormone, the child started scratching their face inside that fetus and their left eyebrow with their left hand and started sucking their thumb. Males, when they get stressed, you say something that's not going really well, they'll start touching their face. But there are states over here in India where people just keep doing this all the time. They'll talk to you less and they'll do this more.
Right.
Okay. That doesn't mean they're stressed. It's their culture.
Yeah.
So you can't misconstrue it as that they're being stressed, that you'd say. So you're sitting like this, I'm sitting like this, and you'd say, what do you think about so-and-so? And let's say I'm not in sync with that. I go back in my chair. Sure. That sounds like a good idea. Going back in the seat is similar to former American President Richard Nixon. Well, I'm not a crook.
I earned everything I've got.
He goes back. Okay, this is called gestural distancing. I make a distance from you. You want to watch out for that. Why did he just go back in his seat? Okay, so they're making a distance from their words and from you as well.
Right.
Touching their eyes.
Really?
Touching their eyes, and you say, what do you think about moving to Italy after this? And the guy says, yeah, that's a wonderful place. Yeah, we can always look at it, look at it. This is called eye blocking.
Okay.
So when you're a child and there's something that you really don't want to see, you put your hands on your eyes because you don't want to see it. But you can't do that when you become an adult. So you start touching your eyes, you start touching the duct of your eyes.
Wow.
They're not liking what you're saying.
That's really interesting. I will pay attention to those signals in the future.
I blink. Any guesses on how many times do we blink in a minute?
20?
Excellent. Okay, now that's the bullseye. So yeah, that's right. 20 is right.
Oh,
so the range
really?
is 12 to 20. You ask the guy, what are your future plans, or what do you think about so and so? The eye blink goes through the roof. Cut, 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 cut. It goes like that. Something that's just got him stressed. It's cognitive overload. So you'd like to change the topic because that's not going well with him. And then you want to see him getting his eyes relaxed. So that's another thing.
Interesting. How do I appear more attractive to the opposite gender?
So if I sit over here and I want to appear more attractive, I'll be more relatable if I'm more vulnerable.
Okay.
In comparison to if I appear as more infallible.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing everything right and I'm doing everything in a perfect fashion, then people would think, oh, that's too good for me to go anywhere close.
Okay.
But if I end up dropping this, I won't, but if I end up dropping this or spilling it over and say, I have done that, and oh yeah, that happens, no? So people start relating to the vulnerabilities of the other person. And then they think, that's human.
So it's almost disarming to convey some vulnerability.
The wrist display. So if you're open to someone, then you open the vulnerable side of yours. So the neck is equally important, and when they twirl their hair, then the wrist is facing them. So that is another thing if you want to be open to people. So that is there. And how Princess Diana would do. So she'd look down, she'd look up, and then she'd bat her eyelids.
Yeah.
That also gets you attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, somebody's sitting across the table and I really want them to get my attention. So you look at them, not a very long stare because that will look like psychopathic stare. So you don't want to give that. But you look at them and you take your eyes off and then you remove the cup from here. Because this is not just a physical barrier, this is also a psychological barrier. That tells them that you're removing obstacles between them and yourself.
I would expect that different genders have different body language cues. Like you mentioned, if I'm a girl, maybe I'll twirl my hair.
Yeah.
Are there particular ones for men that they can incorporate to be a bit more flirtatious, a bit more seductive to the other person?
Preening is something which is common to both, but the ways of preening is different. They start flicking their hair for men who have. So they start flicking their hair. And you must have seen in old-time movies, they sling their jacket on their shoulders. And you can see this part, the rolled up sleeves, as per David Gibbons, the anthropologist, is a sign of sending a signal to the other partner. Also, I'd like to mention the musk fragrance for men, which is very close to like the natural pheromones. Yeah. So the musk fragrance for men sends a message almost very inviting to the other person. That is why musk is one of the best selling fragrant aftershaves or deos globally, because it is a signal of invitation.
Super interesting. All of us kind of have this bubble of personal space. And at what point is it appropriate to violate that? Or, how do I gauge whether I can touch someone on their shoulder or on their elbow?
Yeah.
These are also aspects of flirting and initial courting behavior. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So this is called proxemics.
Okay.
So you and I are sitting in social zone.
Yeah.
If the zone increases, like over here, this becomes public zone. But then you'd like to test your waters before you go there. So you can pull your chair a little closer to see how it is being received. Yeah. Reduce the proxemics. And if that goes well, and the person is not going back in their chair, or the feet are not getting withdrawn under the chair, it's not a flight behavior. The next one is haptics. Touching. Similar to what the mother does to a newborn, forms a bond, immediate secretion of oxytocin. So the moment you do so this is harmless, doing it on the forearm, the elbow. So it's innocuous, you can do that. But then immediately brings back the attention, forms a bond. With generation of oxytocin, it leads to suppression of stress. You feel bonded.
Wow.
And then you can see the response of it. You see the goosebumps on the other person. Are they really getting, stimulated by it and respond? The body responds. According to each culture, the norms also change.
True. In Europe, like in France, a lot of times stranger go up bisou, right, on the cheeks. Like you kiss on the cheeks, right?
Yeah.
That's a very different body language signal than in India, where that space, especially with women and everything, is like very sacred, I feel, like bigger.
So the culture defines these spaces.
Yeah.
Your haptics, the touch.
Yeah.
Can you just go and say hello to anyone? Everything is a part of culture. And if you do not know it, then you might be heading in for trouble.
Yeah.
So
better to play it safe.
Yeah. But you can start by testing and reducing the physical space to see how the other person is responding.
So you're kind of testing the waters, you're breaking that bubble and then pulling back out to make sure that they feel comfortable. Because I think too much physical contact can also be very off-putting. And then you would see them stiffen up. You would see them sort of react in like you said, like a flight response. What do the position of our hands and fingers convey while we're like in a romantic context again? Okay.
So you're sitting with someone and the person is comfortable and relaxed. The fingers will be relaxed. But then you ask something very distressing. Hey, I saw that you hardly have any goal in life. What have you been doing with your life? And then you see these fingers curling in. They don't have to become a fist, but you see the fingers curling in. And you see that things are not going well.
Yeah.
So you want to change the topic so that the fingers open up, okay? That's another thing that you can watch out for. So the hand has the maximum number of connections to the brain. So that's why you want to watch out for hands, how the hand is moving. If the fingers are curling, no, what are you talking about? Everything's good, and the fingers close in. So
when I get nervous, I'll start pulling on my fingers. Like I'll do one of these, and I'll be like, "Well, it's like I'm really struggling, or like I'm thinking about something."
I'd like to quote Amitabh Bachchan, "Kaun Banega Crorepati."
Uh-huh.
And in the early days of when he would do Faster's fingers first, and he would say, because you think he's very confident, which he is, I'm not denying that. Look at his face, and then just look at his hands. The first option is B, D, C, and then keep looking at his fingers. The way he's wringing his hands and the way he's, hardly stroking. So you get to know that there's a lot of stress that he's going through. But how do you cover up stress on camera? Just focus on face. Everything else gets covered.
Yeah.
In all ways.
And I want to just take a step back and in general understand, I'm so conscious of my hand gestures right now. I'm literally like twitching. I have an itch in my nose. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but you start
what is he going to say?
Yeah, you start holding yourself back.
No, but what I wanted to know is how important and relevant body language is in identifying and sort of nabbing the right match for yourself. Research has indicated that around 93% of communication is nonverbal, right? 55% is your body language. 38% is the tone of voice, the speed at which you're speaking, and only 7% are the words. So like, can you just weigh in on the role that plays in like a dating and romantic context?
For the nonverbal communication, it's like GPS. So, to tell you 120 meters, take left, then go right. Now change your direction, take a roundabout.
Right.
Similarly, with body language, it will tell you, okay, this is going good, proceed. Oh, this is not going good, change the topic.
Right.
So you can tweak in real time. So that's called concurrent feedback.
Right.
Everything's happening in real time.
It's like another tool in your toolkit while engaging with someone in an interpersonal relationship, right? Like you can tweak, you can adjust, you can recalibrate according to how someone else is responding. If you want to put someone at ease and they're evidently stressed, then you can take measures to rectify that.
Absolutely. I'd like to quote Laurie Gottlieb over here, the American psychotherapist.
Yeah.
We don't encourage men to talk even while growing up. So they learn to, hush it up, suppress it. And she also says that, when a girl comes up and she says, I haven't spoken about this to anyone. She must have spoken it to her mother, her friend, her sister, and 2-3 more people.
Right. For us, that's basically no one.
But that's okay. But when the boy comes up and says that I haven't spoken to anyone, he's actually not spoken to anyone.
In light of the fact that men maybe haven't used their words to express so much, maybe their body language becomes all the more relevant when interacting with them, that, I can at least kind of assess and evaluate where I stand maybe in this person's life. Right. So you mentioned that... I genuinely am itchy. You mentioned that a lot of times our hands convey what our words may not be saying.
Yeah.
Supposing someone is deceiving or is trying to hide some truth, how would that reflect in the hand gestures?
Would you like to do one exercise?
Please.
Very simple, okay?
Okay.
So you have to put your hands up.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You have to keep clapping.
Okay.
And you have to say from A to Z.
Okay.
That's it.
ठीक है.
Can we start?
Okay.
Yeah.
Up ऊपर.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
Okay, like that. I should hear
H,
this.
I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being sporty. Your fingers immediately curled in. Now we'll do a stage 2.
Okay.
We'll do a stage 2.
Okay.
We'll do the same. You don't have sweaty palms?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
No, the fingers were going like that. So the stage 2 of it, you'll have to say from Z to A. Go backwards and keep doing this.
Okay.
Z, Y, X.
I don't think I can do that.
Try.
Okay. Z, Y, X. I really don't know it backwards. Do you get W, U, V? Galat hai na?
V.
I'm very illiterate.
Okay.
Please give me an easier task.
Okay, no, thank you. So I was just trying to show something which you displayed through your exercise. This is called cognitive overload.
Okay.
I just gave you stress.
Yeah.
Now what happens when you get stressed or when you're deceptive? What did you say? You started asking him X and then you started prompting. The hand movements almost slowed down because you don't know. This is processing very fast and the hands are not supporting. When somebody is lying or being deceptive, in terms of hands, the hands will stop moving or they'll move very slowly. A research by Professor Aldert Frey from Portsmouth University, the hands will not move. How was your day yesterday? Oh, it was wonderful. We went out, we went for a drive and then we had a pizza. Excellent. Where was your car? I heard it met in an accident yesterday. No? What are you talking about? I was home. So, my hands won't move. That'll be a good red flag.
Yeah.
The hands were moving earlier. What happened to that sensitive question?
Right. So it's easy for our words to lie, but it's harder to lie through our body.
Absolutely. You can have a poker face, but you cannot have a poker body.
Interesting.
I'd like to ask you, who lies more, men or women? There's a study though, but still, what do you think? Men?
Yeah.
That's right. That's
I
right.
could have told you that through my experience.
And there's a simple reason to it. So Barbara and Alan P say that men are not good at catching lies. So they do not know if women are lying or not. But women are very good at catching lies of especially their partners or people that they're living with. So they'll catch their lies, they'll listen to the conversation in the other room and watch television also. Their brain is programmed to do multitasking. Males can't do even monotasking properly. In a female brain, there are 14 to 16 regions in the brain that are dedicated to reading the other person's behavior.
Oh.
And in a male, it is only 4 to 5 regions that are dedicated to reading the other person's behavior. That's why they can't read.
Okay.
And you'd see that the women are intuitively good. And the men are struggling. How did she catch me again?
So I think as women, we catch on to very subtle divergences in someone's behavior and in the norm. It sort of makes sense because we had to be hyper attuned to potential threats. Like we're always assessing for trustworthiness in other people. And for men, more of the development was focused towards physical strength and the hunt and the, providing and all of those things. So that wasn't as important. But for the women, it was. Like, that's my very basic understanding of evolutionary
I think that's very good.
psychology. How do I catch a cheating partner?
If you already have a gut feeling, then I'm sure there's something to it. Because as I said, women are better lie catchers. So they'll catch lies more intuitively. But then you need to ask some unexpected questions.
Okay.
If you really want to elicit information from someone,
the order of events.
Yeah, just slice something in between. Make it irrelevant, then something in between, then irrelevant. You want to extract information. Otherwise, from body language, you can see a lot of signals. Disappearing lips, fingers curling in, the eye blink rate going up, feet getting withdrawn,
right,
adjusting in the chair.
Like very shifty behavior. I think even that phrase, like, oh, that guy's shifty. I think it comes from the body language of like, if you're fidgeting a lot, like, what are you trying to mask, right? Like, you're trying to maybe cover up signs of dishonesty.
Sure. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What did you have in lunch yesterday?
Paratha.
Okay. Whatever would have been the answer, you could have told me anything and I would have bought it because I don't know.
Okay.
But you looked to your top left to recall that you had paratha and you were happy about it. Probably it was a nice paratha.
Yeah.
Okay. People usually think that when you don't make an eye contact, the person is lying. But you just broke your eye contact and you're not lying, but you must have actually had paratha. That's my message to everyone, that when you are looking for liars, don't always look at the fact that people are not making an eye contact. Look at people who are making too much of an eye contact because they're doing threat tracking.
They're trying to figure out what's your reaction to what I'm saying. Is he buying it? Is he not assessing?
Too much of eye contact is a red flag.
So just the right amount.
Just the right amount.
The Goldilocks.
Yeah.
So when you see a couple together, are you able to discern whether their relationship is going well or whether it's on the downturn? Okay. And what are the signals that you look out for to see, oh, this is like a really healthy relationship, or oh, there's some contempt or disdain or resentment or something deeper going on beneath the surface, even though they appear very happy and in love?
Yeah, absolutely. So there were times I was doing marital counseling earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm able to see in their language the statements that they're giving. So, for example, ye aadmi to aise hi karta hai. So that tells me, okay, there is something going on. They want to come across together socially, but, internally they're not feeling together. If I do not use I and let's say my wife and I went together, not we went together.
Okay.
We're not using team pronouns and I'm talking about us separately. That talks about the fact that we're not on board. Statement tells a lot. If the pronoun is missing, there's an emotion that is missing. And you need to watch out for why. Why is it missing?
So rather, it's like supposing someone introduces me as, oh, this is Chandra versus, oh, this is my girlfriend Chandra. Is that part of the same trend of like kind of being very open about this person's title in relation to me?
Sure. In statement analysis, it is said that one, you mention the title, you mention the relationship with that person and the name of the person. These three things, if they are met, it's an excellent relationship. But even if two are met, it is good. But if only one is met, things are not right. For example, this is Chandra. That's just one. Okay, this is my girlfriend Chandra. So my and girlfriend Chandra. So all three are met. Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So on that same point, my past relationship, like whenever I would say I love you, he would reply back, love you too. Or if we were keeping the call or something, we'd be like, love you, bye. Versus I love you, bye. What is the difference between those two statements, if any?
Absence of pronouns is a red flag.
Okay.
Because the person is not owning up to the feeling, and love you too can be said to anyone for that matter, right? But I love you too, you own that feeling. Even in criminal cases, this is seen that if the person says, I went there yesterday, had a great time, met some friends, eventually dozed off. There is no I in it. That means that person is absent from it.
Yeah.
And similarly,
so you're sort of removing yourself from the narrative of whatever you're talking about.
You want to see it as a red flag.
Yeah.
There's no good liars in the world. It's just that we have a lot of bad listeners in the world. We don't hear, but the other person is always giving you answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give some examples of just like public figures that like their body language conveys stuff about them or their relationship with their partners? Does anything come to mind?
If there are two people together, they have their own culture, which is called subculture,
Yeah.
which only two people understand. So that goes pretty well between the both of them. There was the Chris Rock episode, if you remember, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and he was enjoying all the jokes till the time he saw his wife, and his wife did an eye roll, and he saw that and said, oh goodness, things have gone wrong, so I have to come up and protect her and do what, and that's how he went and slapped. That's another way of showing it up for your partner. But that didn't go well. But he did read her body language.
Can you analyze what exactly I'm conveying through my body language, or what are the tics that I have that may be inadvertently deterring a prospective partner?
Of course, your confidence comes across in your body language, which is good in a way. But depending on the kind of person that you're talking to, and if he's able to see it in that light that you want to, and there's a hard eye contact also. Feels like you can almost see through the other person. It's that the other person might think I might be getting scanned. And if they don't know, and they might just lose their own confidence that way. Yeah, otherwise I hardly see any facial touch on you. And I don't see you getting easily stressed by the circumstances, at least in what I'm seeing right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think all of us can bring more attention to our body language to also know more about ourselves. And so if I were to have that awareness of self, then I would be able to make slightly more rational decisions in love.
Oh, that's right. You're going to give yourself real-time feedback, as you said. And, if you could exhale a little before going into meeting someone, so that will just activate your parasympathetic nervous system instead of sympathetic.
Yes.
That will help you in just relaxing. And when you smile, I think that will go a long way with the other person also. And you can continue observing and analyzing whichever way that you'd like to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
I truly learned a lot. This was very enlightening. I have so much more to take away and think about, and I'm sure our audience does as well. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Ask the Expert. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to hit subscribe, share it with your friends, like the video, and leave in the comment section below what you'd like us to ask Mr. Gaurav next time when we have him back very soon. Bye!